GP Master Freeport. I've been foiling at least 5 years between sub foiling, windsurf foiling, and wing foiling. And I think I developed a little bit of an ego saying that you show me a foil, a traditional one, I have a pretty good idea how it's going to ride. You know, you look at the thickness, the wingspan, and the cord, and all those things. Now that ego is about to completely crushed because I'm about to try this guy where the camera is sitting on, the Triton T1 monowing. So that, everything I learned about traditional shapes, I don't think it applies. But I'm gonna still try to say something before I take it out. So thank you very much, Robin, my friend that is letting me try this guy. It's a monowing, so you got no fuse, no stabilizer. The stabilization is built within the foil. Look at the cord. That's a very scientific way of measuring the cord. So that is some stabilization right there in the long cord. It's good if you're an intermediate to advanced foiler, if you try to ride your foil without the stabilizer, which I've done. For example, this is a fairly easy one, or at least the easier one. It's the 1550. It's a beautiful feeling of freedom at the tail, no drag if you ride this foil without the stab, but you can't really go any faster because you're constantly adjusting the pitch, and so you don't go anywhere any faster. Now look how much more cord, let me line it up, this foil has compared to this. And so from the pitch point of view, by definition, that one I think will be more stable. I've also ridden my 725, now I chopped it, but without the stabilizer. Now look at this, the cord is 3 times as big. And this was challenging to ride, but I could still do it. Just not particularly fun, just for the challenge. Anyways, how is this thing gonna be? I haven't a clue. I removed the foot straps, which I normally use on this board, because I have no idea where the feet will go. They say you want to put the back foot slightly to the front of the mast, somewhere there, and have a narrower than usual stance. And my god, I think it looks beautiful. Look at this. I think it's called Reflex, I just learned. It just looks extremely different than a regular foil. And just by that, so imagine that, a foil that I have no idea how it's going to ride. I'm excited. Still the first reach, still catching up my breath, but it's fairly easy to fly considering it's only one wing without a stabilizer. I'm going to start trying some little turns, which will be much more tight if I had the foot strap that I'm used to. So I'm looking at the foot position, and I think I can move the mast a little more forward, go back to the beach and put some foot straps on. Nice and slippery through the water. It reminds me of a little bit the HS 800 or my Chop 725 as far as speed. Nobody downwind. Always check for your jobs, you guys. Go kite surfing style. It's a kite foil. Okay, right now I'm doing good. Okay, Eric's is going again. Vigorous pumping. If you pump the foil, pretty much all you do is you're pushing the board back on the water and you got a rebound off the water. This time he did better, so he's already learning. And as you can see, he's fairly stable on the pitch. And I didn't have any issue at all, honestly. Yeah, I still call it a little more sensitive than a regular one. Fairly smooth. You know, it's getting used. It's a different animal, that thing. So, how was it, Eric? What do you think about that?
I love it. The perfect foil for like summertime when it's flat and it's strong wind.
Yeah.
You can go super fast, you can spin, you can probably do all kinds of tricks that I can't even think of right now.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it will take time to figure it out.
Well, I didn't see you doing those tricks. You just had the feeling you could do that?
I had a feeling that there's a lot of potential here.
Yeah. What do you think about lift and speed? As what number would you compare it to? You know, you used to 1050, I think?
I'm using the 1050s. This is definitely not 1050.
Less than that?
Less.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's a technique. I could see that it doesn't take off like a normal foil.
Absolutely.
You have to kind of really push on the back and let it take like a straight up could take off almost.
But you can do that only if you reach a certain speed.
Yes.
Yeah, and that speed is fairly high. That was my surprise. Let's put it like this.
Perfect for it.
Okay, second session. After the addicts liked it so much, I feel compelled to try it again. This time I only put the front foot strap, and it is a little windier than before. Here we go. Jump up. You just gotta let it come up at its own angle. You can't really pump it up, at least not with the same technique. Well, I'm getting more and more used, and the wind is staying good. So I want to show you a little bit of incredibly tight little turns this thing can do. That I cannot do with, no, even with the 525 and the B200. This is just turning. It feels like, yeah, it's turning on one fulcrum, which is the mast and the wing, instead of, you know, a wider base. So this is ridiculously fun right now, finally. Oh yeah, I think I want to try this thing on a wave, honestly. More wiggliness. It's really wiggly, my goodness. Yeah, see, good. I think I'm learning how to ride this foil, because that was the slowest speed I managed so far not come down. So fun. It's a really, really turny, fun foil. Check it out. Wow. You hear that? There was a tip coming out, I believe, and yet this is virtually impossible to reach. I'll see if I can see the tip. Whatever, I'm gonna follow the word. I mean, I hope you can see enough to tell. I mean, look how loose this thing is. That's the fluidity, the flow of this super fun little cuties here and there. Okay, I'm going in. I want to finish the review right here, or the impression more than the review, yeah. So I liked it a lot better at the end for two reasons. Well, first I got used to it, and second, the wind was more appropriate. So when I was out about, I would go call it 12 to 13 knots, and then now it's like it was 17, now it's getting lighter again, so it's just easier. And I put it in a better spot in the track, a little more forward than I originally put it, and I have front strap only, and the back foot is sitting in a spot which is a little more forward than it would sit if I put two foot straps. So it is true, it requires a little more narrow stance. It is fun, it's a really fun freestyle wing, because again, it's just the maneuverability is through the roof. It's unprecedented, really. I love my 50 fuse Armstrong because it's the loosest available around, but this one is even shorter. There is no fuse, the fuse is the wing. So from that point of view, it's fantastic. I mean, look at this. It doesn't like to go straight, that's for sure. And I like that, because I don't like to go straight either. So I'm not doing anything particular other than trying to go back to where I launched. But I can't help it. I gotta keep turning this thing because it's ridiculous. And with a better positioning in the track, again, that was my problem, my mistake. The tuning. It actually increased the stall speed. It's not that low anymore. Sorry, that high. It's actually fairly low. Look how slow I'm going. What else? Woohoo! Unbreachable. I almost intentionally wanted to breach. I couldn't. I just skips. You feel it. You hear it skimming. You hear the foil skimming on the surface of the water, and it just doesn't want to come out. It's unbelievable. From that point of view. So I am really happy with this foil, with this test. This thing is fun.